In this example, we're going to look at a method called completing the square to be able to solve a quadratic equation, or at least that's the end that we want to achieve. But first we need to look at the process. So completing the square is not really a complicated process. We first of all need to make sure that the equation is in standard form. If you recall, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the standard form. And what we're going to do is we're going to be concentrating on the b term of the equation in order to complete the square. So we take b, we pull it out, we take that and then divide it by 2 and then square it. So if we do that, 14 divided by 2 is going to be 7, and it's squared. And then if we square 7, that is 49. Once we have completed the square, we place that number back on the end for our constant term of this quadratic. So we're going to have 49 in the box. That gives us a quadratic equation now that is actually a perfect square that we can actually factor. And that's the goal. We want to be able to factor this quadratic. So if we go through the process of factoring, we draw 2 sets of parentheses because we're going to factor it into 2 binomials. So we start with the x squared term. Start with this term, and x squared factors into x and x. And then we look at our constant term. And we want to find the factors of 49 whose sum is the middle term, negative 14. Well, if you notice, our signs are different here and here. And that's an indicator. If this is negative and this is positive, that's the indicator that 49's factors are both negative. So we factor that into a negative 7 and a negative 7. If you add negative 7 and negative 7 together, that gives us our negative 14, which is what we're looking for. Also, the goal of completing the square is giving us two binomials that are exactly the same, which we have. Now we want to just do one more step. We want to write this as x minus 7 quantity squared. And that is how we do completing the square for a quadratic equation.